Hey everybody, this is Grace. It's 9:55 a.m., March 31st, and it has been one really busy day for me. I woke up this morning and realized I had an infection and went to try to call about these urgent care, emergency care kind of thing, 24/7, 365. Eventually, because I realized they're not open for hours, and they said something that did not make any sense to me. The one I did wind up reaching, I told them, they basically said that I had to have cash. And, I didn't ask how much it's going to be, because I've asked that before to places, and they don't know. Because you don't know what they're going to do once you're in there, and they don't know. So to say, you have to have cash, I was like, no, I don't think so, So I said, I'll just go to a regular ER, because they consider them urgent care ERs or something like that. Not the place called urgent care, but urgent care ERs. Anyway, as it turned out, they just took the hospital. It was one rude woman. All the rest were really nice to me. And the one rude woman was not one that should be. Nobody should be rude. But she certainly shouldn't be. She's the one that checks people in. A person's going to the ER and they're going to be meeting with somebody really rude. I didn't like it at all. But everybody else was nice. The doctor, the nurse, the woman that gave me the mask when I walked in. Anyway, so they don't want me to get sepsis, so I have to go and get some antibiotics, which, from what I've heard and even I've seen, it seems like there's a thing about not using too many antibiotics. I mean, they've always had something like that, but it's like I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but I've heard it. People talk about this with antibiotics. Anyway, and the doctor even said something like, we'll just start you off on a little bit. Okay, whatever. But I dropped him off already, and they said it was going to be 30 minutes, so it's not that far, so I just said I'd come back, and get some more. But anyway, I want to talk about other things. I've tried to make this video before, so I've actually had 3 videos, parts of them before this that were, one was on the drive to the hospital, but I'm not going to put those up. Anyway, what I want to talk about really is I've done videos before about copycats, people who copycat, and other people, they just feel free to take that person's everything. Even their persona, their personality, or they just like take over their identity. And I don't mean identity theft, although I am a victim of identity theft. I'm serious. And actual, the credit and all that stuff. Seriously, and try getting that resolved. I had no luck. But anyway, that person actually had more credit using my Social Security number than I did. So I couldn't put stops on it, even though it's in my name. Really weird. I could go on about that. But eventually, things changed. Yeah, I got some big wigs after them. But, one should say. Anyway, but copycats all around. People who just steal. It's theft. It is. It's a social kind of thing in some instances, and some is not. When they just take things about you and make them their own. Now, we all know how I feel like about this. If you've watched me before, maybe you haven't. But yeah, I'm very against this, and I have experienced it. I would say since I was a very young child, and I'm not saying at all that there's something so great about me that people would want to steal. Nobody should want to steal as it is. something about you. But it's happened to me, and I know I'm not the only person on this planet that it happens to. And I do believe that this is, in part at least, often the person who is a good person, who's a decent person. And these others, they're not very creative. They really can't think that great. They don't have, my experience, I'm not saying one size fits all, I'm not saying everyone, but they just don't have very good analytical skills. They're not very creative, of their own. They steal stuff, and then they can create things from it, but they steal it to start off with. And, like the idea of something. On and on. Okay. Now, what I'm finding funny is my response. And I think early when I tried to make the video, I had a feeling of deja vu. But there's no stop there, person. Anyway, I've experienced deja vu, so maybe I've said this before, but I have all these videos I've made over years, especially the PowerPoint ones. The PowerPoint ones were what I wanted to focus on. And when I first started doing them, I made them very short. Sometimes they were like a minute, a little over a minute, between a minute and a little over 2 minutes. Like this, and they were very short, and everything was kind of cramped together. And I just thought, I wonder if I can do this, at first. And yeah, you can. I could. I don't know about everybody else. But anyway, I thought about taking those and expanding them, making them easier to, slow them down some, make them easier. See what, this is going to be a scattered video, but I don't know what I keep doing with my mask. I'm serious. I had to stop on the way to the ER this morning to try to find my mask in my SUV, and I had one in my purse, but it's one that I bought off of, online, and it was trash. And I didn't realize the other one was deep down in my purse. And then there was one I found, which was the one I was looking for. And just now the same thing. I'm like, really? What is going on with me with these masks? And yeah, even though it's no longer mandatory in Texas, I'm a good citizen. And yes, I have my opinion, and that is it. So, and Adam has had both of his shots, and I think I had it back in February of last year, 2020. Yeah. Back to the thing about copycats. Now, I was talking about, I think, I've had things happen since that clip, but I was talking about my funny reaction to my own videos. Okay, I have all these videos I'd made, and some of them I made, I don't know how many years ago, and I made them too quick to, they just weren't right. And I do wonder what is my view on it now. And anyway, I've been thinking off and on just taking those and making them again, the same one, the same thought and all that, and just kind of expanding and, adding to, subtracting if my opinion has changed over all these years. But I kept having this odd reaction to that it felt too much like copycatting. I don't think it's copycatting. I don't know if you even do. I think it's just copycat. I could be wrong. I need to look that up one day. I think I tried. Anyway, but I think that's funny. I do find that funny that my own work, my own words, okay, I don't want to take those and remake them into something, come on, I wrote so much when I was a career student, published, yeah, and I don't want to rewrite stuff that I've already written that is mine. It came from me, nobody else. I'm serious when I say I have been burned, really big time burned, by copycats. So, and understand that it's a response to it, but really, Okay, even though I know this area right here is easy, very, very easy to get turned around, I came down here and forgot that it was this part. I haven't been out this way in a long while. But anyway, I think down that road to the left a little bit is, what's it called? South Fork Ranch, I think. And like I said, I get lost out here. So, I don't know why. And I'm not the only one. I was with someone. I said, I'm telling y'all, you're going to get lost out here. And and they did. Anyway, and they said, how do I get out here? I said, I have no idea. Okay. You're not going to listen. You got to pay for it yourself. You got to figure it out yourself. But okay, but it was kind of a funny situation actually. Don't you just love these kind of videos when I just babble? Yeah. But anyway, I thought that was funny. I still think it's funny that I don't want to do it. So I went home after in between the pharmacy visits, and I started doing it. You know, trying to do one of my first one. Well, I'm going to say actually it was my most popular one, and that's how I know, because back then I did a bunch of them. I mean, back then. And the ones that became more popular, or the ones that are more popular, are ones that I did way back then, years ago. Okay, and yeah, mine take time before the views start happening. Yeah, that's another video. But so I did the first one. The first one was there, and I'm doing it. I'm saying, okay, I see it a little bit different, but I think I was one to write better back then, and it was not really much to write when you really come down to it. They were so brief, but okay. But yeah, I could see that my mind was still more of that of the one who had been a career student. It's more scholarly. But at the same time, I would use, which is what I want to use now, is more, everyday kind of down to earth and all that language, down to earth. But anyway, I don't know. But I started doing it. I'm still kind of laughing at myself. Why do I do that? Why am I like that? But I really want to do that. I know that I think, well, from what I've even heard, that people prefer when I write it out. I prefer when I write it out on PowerPoint slides. So why would I expect anybody else to think differently? And so I want to do that. I want to start again and just, like I say, add on, take off, see what I feel about it now, how is it any different. And maybe some of the videos that I made, I used to make really, really short videos. Maybe some of those that I liked, that people liked, to change those from that were verbal. I'm going to change those to PowerPoint. Maybe it just depends. Like I say, when I say that I'm going to do something in life comes up, and it just I have to get away from it and have to pay attention to whatever it is that life goes on that's happening. And I never, once I get back to it, I may have changed my mind or something. I just don't have enough time. Writing PowerPoint slides, you think you just go there, write. It's not that easy. It really is not. I've been doing it for many years, so it's just not. Yeah, I mean, Word, I can just sit there and 25-page paper out like nothing, But Word, yeah, might take as long. I type really fast, by the way. I guess I've been up too early. I was going to stop here and get something for lunch, and it's 10:13. I don't think they open until 10:30. Oh well. Watch it be not even 10:30, but watch it be 11 or whatever. I'll just sit here and make videos. Yeah, give me something to do. Okay. Yeah. Going to be 15 minutes. Really didn't want to have to wait for anything. It's been a long morning already, like I said, but other reasons besides that. But anyway, he couldn't understand me. I know people can understand me. I have my mask on because they're going to have to come out here, and I'm not used to it because I didn't go that much with it at all till more recently had to. And then I just decided to keep going to stuff. Nothing too risky. Everything's a risk these days, it seems like. But anyway, I really don't like to have to wait for this when I have something else going on. But why am I complaining, right? Okay, yeah, I know it's hard to understand me with this thing on, but anyway, I got the receipt from the guy who put it on, next to me, right next to me where there's a trash right here. I have a little trash thing, and put my credit card up. And then I thought, what happened to it? And I had to go looking for the freaking thing. What is it with me today? I'm serious. Math. The receipt had fallen between the trash and the wall for the console. So, yeah. Okay, she was behind. I was the first person. She's behind me. She got hers. Mine are going to take a while. If I didn't have a Murphy's Law life, I don't know. But anyway, I was, another topic while I'm out and about and going to be waiting. I saw somebody I just more recently started watching, maybe a month, if even that, I don't know. But I like his videos. I like his sense of humor. Apparently, the trolls can't understand him. I think that his stories are boring or he goes on too much. Yeah. Anyway, I get it. I like his stories. I like the length of them. It doesn't have to be a 28-second commercial. No, his videos usually around 20 minutes. And his sense of humor is kind of wacky, but it's witty too. And but yeah, people complain. He's a nice guy. He and his wife and his kid and their kid. And but he mentioned something about that, something I've heard about many years ago, and I really didn't. I guess I didn't take to it. And basically the thought, and I'm not going to be one to go into detail about this because basically I thought it was a bunch of hoopla. Is it hoopla? Anyway, I haven't used that word in a long time. A bunch of BS. I could be wrong. But it was basically that that if you put out really positive thoughts, just your thoughts, put out positive thoughts into the world, that positive things would come back to you. Some kind of, I don't know, mystical, magical, whatever is happening. Now I can understand if you're a very, positive person, the way you treat people, but that doesn't even matter. In my view, you can be the nicest, sweetest person, most gentle, very upbeat, everything, and the person, you can run across a bunch of jerks. You run across a bunch of narcissistic people. That's not something good coming your way. But I just never went for that. I never believed in that in anything. But last night I thought, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. Woke up this morning and went to the hospital. Okay. I like this guy that was talking about it, but that's something that I really don't believe in. I just don't. And last night also, I looked up magical, mystical, in both of those terms, and what does the Bible say about them? I like these days to do that. I have off and on for years, but I also realize there are a lot of things I'm not exactly right on. It seems to be different, and sometimes it's confusing to me. So I'm not an expert on the Bible. No, I'm not. But anyway, I looked up those, and basically it was saying, no, don't believe in any of this, and I've never been one to believe in anything mystical, magical. You know, but one of them, you know, clarifies it, saying, you know, it isn't something of God, from God, you know, Christ and all this. But I've definitely made me think, okay, I'm not going to make references anymore to the Bible, because I got confused, you know, by what I was reading myself, you know, any of them, you know, in the past. And you can be wrong, not intentionally, okay, but also at the same time, I mean, even when I was young, you know, some people would say, you know, some church, or the people who go to church say one thing, you go to another, they think about it in a totally different way, you know, the way they interpret it, the preacher or their whatever clergy person it is, you know, has their own view, and it's not the same as the next one, you know. So, okay. I'm sitting here, and somebody just has to, all the parking spots that are open, I mean, there's only, I think, 3 cars in mine. There's all these parking spaces, so a woman comes up next to me, parks, I think she works there, and blaring music, I mean, boom, 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 boom. How rude. So I turned mine on, boom, 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 boom. Oh, it's been a day. Still, okay. Anyway, so let me go back to this about the, you know, thinking, you know, just thinking positive thoughts. But his examples, in a way, were very negative situations. But the examples, I don't know. But there was something at the end that came out good about him. I don't know where the thoughts were, but yeah, I'm not one that, I am not one that would even believe, you know, like I said, I was going to try it and woke up this morning and going to the ER. But really, I personally think that I am tired, I have said this for years too, of all the videos I do, which are kind of negative, but at the same time, to me, okay, I'm tired of that this exists. You know, people who are, like the one I was working on this morning was verbal abuse. You know, people who do these things, you know, narcissistic people, any cluster B, people with behaviors of, and it's so much, it's so prevalent, it's just so out there, you know, and that wasn't the right word I wanted to use, but yeah, just so much. And but to me, in a way, it turns around in my mind. That's a good thing for me to do that, because I do have both experience and the education. I mean, I was a freaking career student. You know, my degrees are in psychology and sociology. So to me, it's still at the same time, I'm doing something that's good. Okay, it's, you know, something positive, but about a negative topic. Seriously, you see what I'm saying? So, I think they're going to forget about me. Yeah. And guess who had to deliver my... all the while with her cell phone in her hand. Yeah. And, I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't. Okay, hopefully we can get out of here easily enough. Maybe so. But anyway, I mean, I'm just not going to be one that's going to fall for everything. You know, there are some things that I know that some people would say, you know, how can you be both a scientist and a Christian? You know, some people do look at it that way. Yeah, you do know. You do realize there are a lot of us out there. Really, I do think there's something beyond myself, beyond our earth, beyond humans, you know. And at the age I am now, I'm definitely questioning, what is all this about? I had this recent question about, what was my childhood about? And I know the quick, easy answer people use. Believe me, I do know it. It's what made you what you are today. That's one thing people say. But sometimes I really do wonder, what was my whole childhood about? I mean, it was not an easy, good childhood at all. And I don't really have anything to do with any of them anymore. None of the people from my childhood, from my growing up years until, I don't know, it started waning after I moved when I was 18. Less and less and less over the years, until where I don't really have any contact with them. And there's a Facebook every blue moon, but I don't even use it anymore. I stopped. Too negative. They're too. Some of the ones I run across, I don't even want to have anything to do with. Yeah, especially since they took that moment to make that Adam was in the hospital, to make it all about them. Huh? This hype. Seriously. So there was a lot more noise than that. But anyway, yeah, life is. I understand what people. I knew somebody, yeah, years ago, and she was extremely negative about a lot of things. And she said people would complain to her, and I thought, well, she is extremely negative. But I had known her my whole life, and I know it was a phase. She was just going through some bad, rough times, and she had developed, an attitude very negative, and it wasn't permanent. Mine's not permanent, but I have been wanting to move on to talk more about other things, and then I started thinking today, more about this with the PowerPoint. I don't even know what channel I put this video on, so it might not even make any difference. But, okay, yeah. Up next to me, blaring music. So you know what I've decided to do? I'm going to wrap this video up and blare mine more. Oh, it's been a day. I'm telling you, it's been a day. Don't mind me in this video. And I think I'm going to put the other 3 together as blooperish videos because, wow. But also, I'm going to go home and eat. I got chicken enough to last us for a while. Freeze it. Some other stuff that we don't eat. Anyway, talk to you on another video.